Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining today's edition of HR Mentorship Series. And our facilitator for tonight is Yenison Wori, and I'll be reading our profile. Ladies and gentlemen, Yenisam is a seasoned HR operations professional. Currently, she works with King Product and Services Limited as a people operations manager, where she supports the business with talent and business development management. Previously, she worked with MD Mats Nigeria Limited as a regional admin HR generalist. In the past, she has worked with Children's Initiative, Fidelity Bank, and other organizations. She has over 8 years experience in HR operations. She loves volunteering, and she has had the opportunity of implementing many notable projects with firms and so on and so forth. She has a degree in accounting and a diploma in HR and operations management. Currently, she is undergoing a CIPM training. She's passionate about supporting people and businesses to maximize their potential and achieve their ultimate career and business goals. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege and pleasure to invite for the first time ever to this prestigious platform, and she'll be speaking on aligning HR practice with the business goal. Aligning HR practice with the business goal. Over to you, Yenisan.
Thank you very much, Sir Oluyemi Adeosun. I am glad to be here. Once again, welcome everyone. I understand that this group is made up of experienced professionals and those at the entry level. I encourage us to participate and be engaging, be active. Let's ensure that we have a good time tonight. So we're going to be talking about aligning HR practices with business goals. Now, when you go into your organization and you're called HR or people operations, what comes to your mind? What do you really think is your purpose in the organization? What's that seasoning you bring into your organization? What's your purpose? If you're following me, I'd like to see your response on the group chat as a people operations manager or an HR personnel. What is your purpose in the organization, in your company? What is your purpose? Secondly, I like us to ask. I like to ask if we have thought to ourselves, is it really important for us to align business goals or HR practices with the business goals? Do you think it's important? Is it something that we should take into consideration? Is it important to align HR practices with business goals? Let me know your response. Is it yes? Is it a no? What do you think? Is it really important that we have to align um, our HR practices with the business goals? Let's see. Let me see your response in the group chat. Let me see your response in the chat. I like to see your response in the chat. If you're participating, if you're here with me, I like to see your response in the chat. Do you think it's something that it's necessary? Do you think it's good for us as practitioners, as HR practitioners, to align our practices with the business goal? Yes, it is important to align HR activities with business goals because one, it improves productivity. You can agree with me that when you align your HR practices with the business goal, there is you're able to maximize the employee workforce. You're able to maximize the workforce. So you see that you have productivity. Employees know what to do, how to do them, when to do them. There is no loss of time. There is efficiency. Job description is detailed enough. Every employee knows what to do and how each employee's job contributes to the overall business goal or business objective. Now, it also helps to attract and retain top talent. Job seekers out there want to be in an organization that has a good work culture. They want to be in an organization that they feel safe and secured. They want to work in an organization that has a good reputation. Now, for you to attract top talent, you need to be able to have your HR system working. You need to be able to have your company doing things, your HR practices aligning with your business goals, seeing that the company is being successful. With that, you begin to have you see that employees or job seekers will always want to be in your company. Even before you advertise, they are already applying. You ensure compliance and legal requirements. It reduces a lot of employee turnover. It reduces legal issues because your business, your HR practices are in alignment with the business goals. It reduces costs. How does this reduce costs? When your HR practices aligns with the business goal, employees are willing to stay, will be willing to stay. They will be able to understand their job and do it accurately. Then they will contribute to the overall business objectives, and the business will feel satisfied with the employees. And because the business is satisfied with the employees, the business would also reward the employees. Employees want to be in an environment, in a company where they are valued, they are well rewarded, there is an opportunity for growth. So all of this contributes to you having to reduce costs of going to hire new employees. Now we'll move to so as you are aware, HR plays a crucial role in creating. One minute, please. They just took my light. Okay, so I'm here. I hope you can see me. Just 1 minute, my lights will be back. They're going to turn on the light. So as you are aware, okay. So as you are aware, HR plays a crucial role in creating alignment between the workforce and the organization's goal. In this webinar, we are going to discuss various ways and practices that HRs can support organization goals and objectives. We will also talk about how HRs can create a positive impact on business outcomes. So through this webinar, we aim to provide you with a comprehensive understanding of how HR can contribute to the organizational success. We are confident that the knowledge and insight you gain from this webinar today will help you to create a positive impact in your respective organizations. So our agenda for today is 1, understanding business goals. 2 is role of HR in achieving business objectives. 3 is key HR activities in an organization. 4, metrics and measurement. And finally, we'll go into our Q&A session. So understanding business goals. When you hear business goals, what comes to your mind as an HR professional or as a staff in a company? We understand that business goal can simply be the objective or the target of the company, either in a short term or a long term, what the company wants to achieve within a particular period of time. Looking at our topic today, we said we are aligning HR practices with business objectives. Now, you cannot align your practices with business objectives if you don't have clear understanding of what the business objectives are. So how can you get an understanding of the business objectives? 1, it is important that HRs should work with the stakeholders. You need to engage with the stakeholders, engage with the management, engage with the relevant, stakeholders in your organization or in your company to be able to understand, have a clear understanding of what the objective is for every project and for the organization as a whole. Then you begin to align them with of course, you harmonize them with your business, with the organization mission and vision. Because it is with the organization mission and vision, you will be able to create your own mission and vision as a department in the HR profession. When you understand the business objectives, understand the business mission, you understand the business vision, you're able to harmonize all of these, and then you come up with your departmental mission and vision. With this, you will be able to understand the specific target of your company and you will be able to tailor your activities to support the achievement of these objectives. So aligning HR activities with the business goals ensures that HRs have the best talent. You're able to attract the best talent, and you're able to develop them and engage these best talent, and they will be able to directly contribute to the broader business goal. Essentially, a well-defined understanding of organizational goal serves as the foundation for HRs to strategically contribute to the overall success of the. Should HRs do? What should HRs do? What should HRs do to be able to contribute to the overall business goal? If you're with me, you can give me an insight. What do you think? What do you think HRs should do to be able to contribute to the organizational business goals? We look at, HRs moving beyond administrative staff, moving from beyond administrative tasks to becoming strategic HRs. HRs HR has evolved from being just an administrative staff to becoming a strategic force within an organization. It has gone beyond paperwork and compliance. It is about proactively contributing to achievement of the business objectives. Strategic HR involves forward thinking, planning and aligning HR practices with overall strategic. Example, you're in a management meeting and looking at our current economy, the business said, HR, we won't be able to do the cost of living adjustment because of business operations, because of cost and this. Now, as an HR, what do you think you will do? Would you just accept it? Or will you accept that maybe they should cut down on staff strength or cut down on staff salary? No, you can think out of the box. Let's give this example. You can come up with something like, okay, if you're able to work with the finance team, understanding what the business is, what the business objectives are, what the expectations are, you can work with your stakeholders, you can work with the finance team to be able to know if some jobs are enriched. Will we be able to, get some funds from, let's say, for example, in the FMCGs, you take up a new product or additional product and you enrich employees' job functions. Would you be able to come up with something that can, contribute to adding up to the employees' salaries, or employees' compensation? You need to be able to think out of the box. How can you really support the business? How can you be forward thinking? How can you come up with something that is completely different from just the paperwork or different from what the conventional admin is doing or what the conventional admin does? You need to be able to think differently. So, and HR needs to move from, being just administrative staff to becoming a business partner. Transitioning from a support function to a strategic business partner is critical progression for HR. As a business partner, HR professionals actively engage with leaders to understand the business landscape, challenges, and opportunities. I'll give you an example. I recall when I was with one of the companies and there was need for us to increase our profitability because cost of operation went high. This was even before, the high cost of fuel and diesel. So, and during our meetings, I got to see that, of course, there is a need for us to really increase our profitability. How do we go about this? I came up with different strategies and I began to contact different multinational manufacturers, and I was able to secure deals for the business. This did not only contribute to the business success, but also contributed to the employees' welfare because we were able to get more funds, more profitability, more products, more, of course, more funds coming into the company. So as a business professional, you need to engage with leaders to understand the business landscape, understand the challenges and opportunities. Some of us, some HRs are not comfortable with figures. If you're not comfortable with figures, you will not be able to understand finance. And it is important that you understand your financial statements. It is important that you understand those figures, understand the plus and minus and how it came about, the profit or the loss. With that, you will be able to plan in, how do I put my budget to fit into this? What and what can I do to see how I can support the business? So by becoming integral to decision making, HR contributes to shaping organizational strategies that are closely tied to the business goals. Yes, and you can agree with me that when you become very useful to the business, when the business sees that you're contributing meaningfully into the business, you would always be invited to the table. I understand that some might not be at the level of relating with management, but at that level, you should be able to contribute meaningfully to the business strategies. What are you thinking? What are you coming, on board with? Is it just about cost? No. What can we bring in? What can we do, to increase this portfolio? What can we do, to multiply this profit? What can we do to reduce the cost? You need to think of all of that so that the company will see that you are actually adding, contributing to, the business. And with this thought, you will be able to also know how to engage the employees. You'll be able to engage the employees to know, how the business is faring, what they can do better to better assist or support the business to achieve its organizational goals. So strategic HR involves proactive planning, alignment with organizational goals. HRs as a business partner actively collaborates with leaders to drive strategic decision making. Linking HR activities or initiatives to organizational strategy ensures okay, thank you. So HR initiatives should be purposeful, should be purposefully designed to support and enhance the execution of the company's strategic plan. This linkage ensures that every HR activity contributes meaningfully to the overall success of the organization. Understanding that the success of HR is not just measured by the efficiency of the process, but also by the impact on achieving organizational goals. It is important for HR to be deliberate, about linking their HR activities or linking our activity, to contribute meaningfully to the overall success of the organization. What are these activities that we need to link into our okay, so it is important that when you're recruiting, you should be able to identify and hire individuals with skills that align with the business needs. Now, when there is need for us to hire, what comes to our mind as HRs? Do you really take your time to understand the specifications and have a detailed description that really fits into your organizational goal, or you just advertise and hire anybody that you think will just do the job? No, you should be able to hire individuals that have character, that have skills, that have, look at the different soft skills, be able to align these things with your business goals to see how these individuals fit into the business needs when you are hiring. Ensure that you have a diverse workforce to enhance adaptability and innovation. There's a story of a man or an entrepreneur who, when he wants to brainstorm, he packs people from different corners into, a session and begins to, brainstorm with them. Not because they are, not basically because they have masters or PhD, but because he believes that, everybody have different perspectives, to things. So by the time all this knowledge, ideas, insights are brought together, he's able to filter to be able to know, okay, this is what is best for the organization. So when you're recruiting as an HR, you should be able to have a mixture of talent. You should be able to have, there should be diversity in your recruitment approach, to be able to have people that can bring in new ideas, innovation into the business. So another key activity is employee development, implementing training programs that align with organizational goals, facilitating continuous learning and skill enhancement to meet evolving business requirements. When you're, coming up with your trainings, when you're planning your trainings, your training needs, when you're doing your training needs assessment, you should be able to have the business objective at the back of your mind. You should be able to, have engaged with management, engaged with stakeholders to know the exact, this, what I have discovered. How can this, what can we do? What are the trainings you think you need that will be able to help us achieve the business goals? So you should be able to tailor all your employee development to that angle, so that everything will be able to contribute to the holistic objective of the company. Another activity is the performance management. The performance management, when you're doing your performance appraisal, or even before your performance appraisal, when you're coming up with KPIs, how do you design your KPIs? They should be able to align with the business goals. They should be able to align with, there should be KPIs that can contribute to the business, to achieving the business objective, because that is what is important. That is why you're there. That is why, as employees, we are there. It is the business objective that, in the end, when we achieve the business objectives, we will be able to have good compensations as employees. We'll be able to feel satisfied as employees that we've been able to meet our or achieve our KPIs. Providing engagement, create a positive workplace culture that reflects organizational values. What are your company values? What's the culture? what culture, organizational culture are you creating for your business, for your organization? Does it align with the business goals? You need to be able to tailor your culture to align completely with business objectives. Implementing initiatives to enhance employee morale, motivation, and commitment. You know, your activities as you're implementing should be able to enhance, it should be able to make employees feel more valued, should be able to feel employees feel more motivated, want to do more, should be able to make employees want to stay with you, want to stay in that company, want to, they want to be there. That's where they want to be. They want to work with you. They want to work in your company. The work culture should be able to be that which values employees. Employees want to be where they are valued. So you should be able to make your HR activities such a way that employees can feel motivated, they can want to be committed, and their morale, their morale will go high. They want to be part of your company. Strategic HR planning, collaborating with leadership to understand long-term business objectives, so that whatever you do will not just be that you're just doing it, you're just forming activity. No, you should be able to align your activities with the long-term business objectives. And remember, when we talked about how to understand business objective, we talked about engaging with business leaders, engaging with business stakeholders. So you should be able to, engage with the leadership to understand the long-term goals, so that, when you're planning your HR activities, it will collaborate, it will harmonize, it will align with the business goals, or it will help to contribute to achieving the business goals. When you're developing HR strategies, you should develop HR strategies that support the overall strategic direction of the organization. Succession planning, it's another activity that we do in HR. You need to identify and develop employees for key roles to ensure a smooth transition, especially in today's society where we have a lot of jackpot. You need to be able to see beyond the present. You need to be able to, understand your employees. You need to be able to see beyond your nose. That's what I used to say, so that you can, be able to plan, your succession very well, and in a way that it can be smooth. The transition can be smooth. Mitigating risks associated with talent gaps in critical positions. There are some positions that you cannot risk. You cannot risk to have the employee drop a resignation to leave immediately with immediate effect. You can't risk it. So you need to be able to mitigate those kind of risks as an HR professional. Change management, assisting in the effective implementation of organizational goals. There are different what's it called, changes organization goes through. It depends whether it's technology, whether it's restructuring, whatever the change is, you should be able to be part of that change management, because as HRs, we are change champions. So we need to be able to assist in that effective implementation, so that the transition will not impact the organization negatively and will not impact the employees negatively, because during transition there are some employees that can be affected, and if it is not well managed, it might result to what's it called, workforce turnover, which is not what we expect or what we want. Managing employees transition during period of restructuring or transformation. So we need to be proactive enough to manage transitions. Data-driven decision making. It is important that we have, that IT skills. We should be tech savvy as HR professionals. Are you using your HRIS? You should be able to analyze your data. You should be able to have, a good documentation, so that when you're making a decision, it should not just be based on assumption or emotions. It should be data based. You should be able to have data that you're leveraging or that you're looking at to make a decision, making informed decision to optimize talent management strategy. HRO plays a pivotal role in ensuring that the organization's human capital is aligned with its strategic goals, fostering a synergy, a synergy or a relationship between people management and business success. Now, remember we talked about utilizing HRO analysis or analytics to gather insights into workforce. We'll be looking at metrics and measurements now. First, we need to establish key performance indicators that we talked about. When, for example, for our performance appraisals, we use our KPIs to measure what we have achieved. That's you bench it with, what you have achieved. So you need to establish key performance indicators. KPIs are the compass that help us to navigate the HRO landscape effectively. So begin by identifying the KPIs that directly aligns with organizational goals and HRO objectives. So what are those KPIs that directly aligns with the organizational goals and HRO objectives? You should be able to, break this into the different departments or different units that contribute to the entire organizational objectives. So KPIs should be specific, they should be measurable, they should be achievable, they should be relevant, they should be time bound, of course. When you do what we call, of course, when you're doing what we call when you're setting your goals, we know that when you're setting your goals, you have to set your goals to be smart. So this will help you to provide a clear direction for your company and what you're doing as an HRO metrics for effectiveness, make contribution to organization. We talked about HROIS. Your data. You should be able to document your data. You should be able to document your activities as an HRO, the performance of the organization. You should be able to have document everything so that you will be able to have data that you can leverage on to make your decision, your organizational success. For example, what happened that the business did better than we did in the previous quarter? What happened? You should be able to analyze what happened, know what you did differently as an HRO and what the company did differently. You should be able to analyze those data and keep them, document them, so that in the future you will still be able to come back to this, information to make your decisions, to see where you are to re-strategize, where you have to improve, and the different decisions that you want to make. So you should continuously, on a regular basis, track and analyze metrics related to recruitment. What was your recruitment cost? How many days did it take you to fill a particular role? How much did it cost you? All of that. What strategy did you use to recruit? What platform and all? You should be able to document all of those things. Employee performance. What did the person do differently? How did I support this employee? Of that engagement, your conversation with the give feedback and all. You should be able to track all of those activities and other relevant areas. Understand the story behind the numbers. Initially, I talked about understanding finance. It is important. Luckily for me, I have a background in accounting, so it makes it very easy when I am in the board meeting and we are talking about the business success. We are talking about the numbers. So I encourage us to learn Excel, learn basic accounting skills. You should be able to have all of those things. Have understanding about the numbers. What's working? what is not working. You should be able to know all of that. Know what needs to improve. When a CFO is talking about, numbers, be able to understand. When supply chain is talking about numbers,
So, ladies and gentlemen, our network is stable.
So adjust your strategies, based on your data insight. Use data from your HRA metrics to make informed adjustment to the strategies. Identify trends, patterns, and areas of improvement, and apply this learning to refined HRA initiatives. Your KPIs serve as the guiding star for HRA strategies, ensuring alignment with organizational goals. It is with metrics you provide tangible evidence of HRA impact on various feats of workforce management or facets of workforce management. It is with metrics that you provide tangible evidence. Data-driven insights empower HRA to adapt and refine strategies for optimal effectiveness. So there is a whole lot of importance, in making data-driven decisions. There's a whole lot of benefits in documenting your activities as an HRA, documenting the impacts you made as an HRA, documenting what your organization or your establishment is doing. So we have come to the end of this session. In the realm of HRA, what gets measured gets managed. I want you to go home with this. What gets measured gets managed. I saw somewhere that if it was not documented, it didn't happen. So if you don't document it, how do you measure it? So you need to document to be able to measure, and you will be able to manage. So as we go about our work, let us embrace the power of data to refine our strategies, elevate our impact, and harmonize our activities to contribute meaningfully to the overall success of our organizations. Thank you. I look forward to your questions, to your contributions, to your reactions. I look forward to them. Please let me see your questions in the chat section, your contributions. If you want to say something right now, I have to hand over to our host, Sir Oluyemi Adeosun. Sir, please take over. Thank you.
Thank you so much, very much. In fact, I'm convinced beyond reasonable doubt that what they carry last. They have done justice to this session, and your resilience, is obvious and contagious. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take, if any, questions, comments, and reactions, just like our excellent facilitator for tonight has mentioned. Please, if you raise your hands, we'll quickly enable you to ask your questions. I can see encomiums and accolades in the chat box, people celebrating and saluting you. Thank you so much for what you have done. Yes, definitely, she will come back. She will come back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy if what we have is just appreciation and accolades. Happy to call it wraps for tonight. So I think what I'll do is I'll just unmute every that will say thank you to our capable, amiable, delectable facilitator for tonight. So you can
thank you
say thank you
so much.
Don't worry, thank you. Great job. And to add this, you're beautiful.
I'm gonna say our husband the year and happy cake.
No matter now. Appreciate.
Thank you so much. Can we get the slides? Is it possible?